What's going on, everybody? I know there's quite a few tests of this, and I know how chainsaw chaps are supposed to work. The saw hits, it's got the webbing in here and it binds it up. But a lot of times on the test, the saw that they're using is like a 40 to 50 cc test, or saw that they're using. Like I may have seen one that's using maybe a 372 or something like that, but they're not using saws like what some of us use. Some that's kind of hopped up or got a lot, quite a bit of power or whatever. There's not a lot with 70 plus cc saws. And they go into it slow, like, a real steady, even pace, just, and I get that. But to me, I know sometimes you're barely going to nick yourself and let off the throttle, but I'm just saying if, for instance, you got your saw wide open and somehow it kicks back on your leg really quick. I want to know what it does then. If it's a quick jolt of a stout saw, is what I'm saying. So that's what I'm going to do. These are Echo brand chaps. They're should be fairly decent chaps. They're in pretty good working order, and one reason why I'm using these chaps is one of the snaps are jacked up and they're a little too long. They drag, so that's one reason why I'm using those. And it's going to be loud in here, but I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this ported 395. Just want to check, make sure it's got gas in it. Yep. I think it's good enough to do the testing. But this is a ported 395. Probably just about one of the stoutest saws that you're going to get. Or that there is. I mean, it ain't the stoutest. I'm just saying it ranks right up there with the top saws. I'm quite certain of it. So anyway, I'm gonna fire this thing up, warm it up a little bit, and then we're gonna do the test. Said it was. Up. I didn't have my chaps secured very good. And I don't know if that was a result of afterwards or not, but it did bind them up some. That's another thing you want to look at, is you're going to want to make sure that they're properly fitted on and snug on your leg, because I had 4 nails drove in this wood table and it ripped them out, as you can see. And I didn't go easy on it. It ain't like I just barely done it just to bind it. I want to know if I get hit full throttle, how good these things are gonna protect me. Everybody, you know, like everybody else, I want to know. And we'll see. I do have a nick on the table, but I don't know if that's from the chainsaw chaps or not. And like I say, most generally, you're not going to be probably hit like that. You're going to let off the trigger when they grab or whatever, or kind of pull back. But just for instance, if you're cutting, trip and fall, or something like that, you know, if you're limbing up here and you're wide open and you come through quicker, and you know, anything could happen. An accident is an accident because you don't never know what's going to happen. You can't foresee everything. And I know I'm not one to be really preaching the whole safety deal, because I don't wear chaps a lot. But I do have me some cut through pants, you know, some saw pants now that I'm going to start wearing some. And it's just one of them things. It's a dangerous. Chainsaws are dangerous. Of course, we all know that, I'm sure. But I just want to know what, you know, how this acted or whatever. The webbing did come out. It did wad the chaps up. And it did look like it stopped it pretty good, but we'll see on the back side what it looked like, because I come through it pretty quick. I grabbed it again, and it did come through a little bit, but that right there is a whole lot better. Let's see if we can get these off. That was my initial cut. You know, I slammed it pretty hard. I don't know if y'all can see that. I slammed it pretty hard. And there's what it did on the back side. So you would still been cut, but it wouldn't have been half your leg. Because I'm pretty sure if you got hit by something like that, it would have been half your leg. And this webbing, that just got chewed up because it got hung. And this would have been probably right below your shin or right at your shin, so you'd probably been in bone if not there. So that kind of wakes me up to seeing the damage on these chaps of what really could be. And like I say, I know sometimes you're not always going to get hit like that. You know, wide open throttle. Most time it's going to be. A lot of times I grab my pants, or like if I do kind of get hit by the bar, the chain, or whatever, it's when I'm cutting and I let off the throttle, and I have a real bad habit, which I don't do anymore, but like when I first started, I had a real bad habit of not hitting the chain brake or waiting till the saw was completely stopped, and I would go to swing it down. Well, that barely spinning would catch my pocket or something, which I'd do it and it would kind of stop. It would be spinning slow enough it'd stop it, but you know, it's a bad deal. So I'm either going to look into some more chainsaw pants or look into a set of chaps. I'm going to try to get a set of chaps that's pretty comfortable, maybe the bib style, because I really hate stuff hanging off my waist, tugging. It feels like it's tugging at you. But I don't know, we'll see. Or I would like to get me some of those double kneed pants, or double fronted pants, whatever they call it, and get the pads that slide down in there. But just because I don't wear chaps, I used to wear chaps more so than I do now. My favorite pair I let someone borrow because they didn't have any, and I wasn't cutting at the time, and I never got them back. And these here are too long for me, which that's no excuse. I should have bought some, because that could happen to me at any time. And like, I know I make light of it, you know, on some videos saying don't worry about my legs, worry about your own, and all that kind of stuff. And I said something else, but kind of making light of it. But it is a pretty serious deal. I don't want to be with my leg on the other end of that thing wide open like that. And it may not happen, you know, not every cut may not happen wide open throttle with a 95cc saw or 94cc saw that's been ported, but it very well may if you're using a 99 or a big saw that's been ported, you know, 80 plus cc's. We may do the other leg some other time if y'all are interested in it. I may get like the 500i or that 400C wide open throttle and see how it does with it. But it most definitely, you know, yanked them things up. It was kind of wild being on the end of the saw because it flung them like a rag doll. It yanked those 4 nails right out of that table. So anyhow, or ripped the material one. Pretty crazy deal. I wouldn't advise trying this at home. I'm a skilled nut, so it is what it is. But they do work, as you can see. As hard as that was, as fast as that saw was moving, you know, that thing probably turns at, what is it, 12,000 RPMs, or maybe a little more since it's been ported. 12, maybe 13.5, 14,000 RPMs, give or take. And what do they have, like 7-something horsepower? I think it stopped it pretty well. Which if I could have kept it from yanking it plumb off, you know, would it have been different. We may do one, I may get a log tied around there, have it full throttle, and go into it, instead of jutting it, go into it slow. But there's plenty of them going into it slow. There's just not a lot slamming it like that in case it would have happened. Which if they're not buckled the way they're supposed to or fit like they're supposed to, I'm not sure a saw of that caliber with that power. Not saying that, I'm not talking about the saw, I'm saying this is the stoutest saw. It is the stoutest saw I have, and it is a stout saw is what I'm getting at. I don't know that it wouldn't yank them plumb off of you. So, but anyway, something to think about. And I know all of us do it, or not, maybe not all of us, but majority of us do it. Run saws sometimes with no chaps or no kind of protection on them. And a lot of times I don't wear them falling, you know, if I'm just falling trees, because you don't really think of kickback. But there's the potential for it. But I think they're really, really needed if you're like used to when I cut firewood a lot to heat our home with. I was cutting in timber that had already been felled. I was cutting in tops, and sometimes they were pushed up, sometimes they was laying over each other. You was climbing over crap, you know. In situations like that where you don't have good footing, I think there would most definitely need to be used and stuff like that. So I'm not trying to preach that you need to wear chaps. Mainly I just wanted to see for myself how they done. Like I say, I've seen videos going in slow, but I hadn't seen them wide open throttle and bumping it like most kickbacks happen, you know, which you're letting off the throttle after it kicks back, but the saw's moving a whole lot faster than your reaction time is, you know. By the time you done know what's happened, you know, the saw's done already moved. And it was kind of like that with me on this, you know. I knew what I was doing, fixing to do it, and hit that, and before I knew it, them chaps was like a fart in a whirlwind, you know. It was all over the place. So pretty crazy deal. I appreciate y'all. I hope you enjoyed the content. Michael Kirk, I'm sorry if you watch this. I still have your saw, and I'm going to try to get it shipped as soon as I can. It's in the box, ready to get, well, not quite ready to go. I need to find some more packing paper is my dilemma. I need to get something stuffed down in there, tape it up, and then it'll be ready to go. So you're gonna get it, just bear with me a minute. One of the saws already gone. And like I say, don't forget, we got the 750 subscriber giveaway. It is the Weaver felon belt and pouch and all that kind of crap. And we'll see. I don't know. I may throw something else in with it. I may not. We'll see though. Just depends on my crazy mind. So anyway, that's what we got. I appreciate y'all. We'll catch you on the next one. Have a good one. And remember, if you like what you're seeing, like, subscribe, and hit the bell. And still, it's still your daddy. Woo!